Hello, welcome back to the channel and a rather cold but sunny Sunday morning in Dorset. I'm up in the hills just back from the coast. I've came up with two tents this time. I have the Taiji One, which is in the far distance there, and nearest to us we have the Taiji Two. Yeah, so why have I modified the Taiji Two? Well, to cut a long story short, there was a massive amount of interest on the modifications on the Taiji One, and a lot of owners of Taiji Twos did get in touch and ask if it was possible to modify that tent. Now, I haven't seen the Taiji Two, so I couldn't really answer if it's possible to modify it. Mick Outdoors, he got in touch and he promptly sent his tent down within 3 days, and I went to work on it. Now, the working on the Taiji Two was a lot harder to work on than the Taiji One. Seems a bit an odd thing to say because it's a lot bigger tent, but the sheer volume of material that you're trying to pass through a normal household sewing machine, it does make things really tricky. And we did have one little accident where we had a runaway sewing machine as it slipped off the sill nylon, which it's an occupational hazard. It's repaired. I will show you the repair. I'm not being transparent about it. I will show the repair on it, and it looks absolutely fine. Certain other little bits of the modifications, I had to do a bit more strengthening on the larger tent, on areas where I couldn't do it on the smaller tent, just because the real estate where you were sewing into, there was other things obstructing the area that you were sewing in. So I'll point them out as well. Right, so we'll go and have a little look round the Taiji Two, and I'll just point out the subtle differences within this tent and the Taiji One. Right, what I'll do, I'll put all the details about the tents up on the screen now. Right, a couple of changes, well, a couple of differences. The sleeve here is now, it's 14 inches long, where on the Taiji One it was only 12 inches long. I have separated out, as I pointed out on the wind test video, I've separated these two bits of cord that are here so that the pressure that was pulling on the Taiji One isn't the same on the two. I've added a little bit of elastic there to put your cords through when you're finished with them. I've also strengthened here, so the top of here has got a piece of plastic in it, so it's like open all the time. That was one of the things when I was assembling the Taiji One, you have to sort of force that open a little bit, so that's all been strengthened out with a bit of plastic. This tie point here, so in the Taiji One you haven't got room to put support in, and if you can see there, that's a strengthening patch that I've put on there as well, so it's not just pulling on the seam. I don't have that in the Taiji One, for the simple fact is there's a lot of stuff going on in there on the interior, so you can't really fit a bit of strengthening on there, but that's been added there just to give it the extra bit of support. And what I used for the strengthening, these are the patches, repair patches that you get with the tent. You get two large square ones and a couple of round ones, so I've just cut these out from the large square ones and put them on all four corners. Yeah, so one other thing that I noticed, I don't know if it's just specific to this tent, but the guidelines that Mick had sent, they're way too short for this sort of setup. You want them to be as long as they can be. The ones that came with it, the yellow ones that come with the free FUL stuff, are way too short for this tent or for this sort of setup. The actual pole on the Taiji One, I had to cut off 3 inches off the pole. With the Taiji Two, it was about 1.5 inches before it all settled down into its current configuration. So it was just a little bit that had to be taken off to allow it to go into the feet. Now the feet are directly down there on, they're cinched right in. And that's how this works, because when you put it through the sleeve you can't get the spread at the bottom. Again, the walking pole sleeves have been added. A single clip on this one, and it does, again, yeah, it's a bit more rigid, let's put it that way. You actually struggle to get it down past that point. The same as the Taiji One, we now have two-way zips have been fitted, so that's the 3 FUL zip that comes with it. Right, so the door setup, same as the Taiji One. I've fitted these the draw cords that you can cinch up when you're using the door. So you've got one there which takes on the pressure, and I've installed YKK zips just at the bottom. The one at the top is the one that comes with the actual tent, and again a quick release at the bottom to take off the pressure on the zips. Luckily Mick, he didn't want the inner changed into a 4 Seasons inner, which saved quite a bit of time when I was doing the tent. But what was added, you can see over there, was a little pocket at the side there, just to put storage stuff in, because I say the same in this tent, you just have that tiny little bag there for storing stuff, so that's there. I think I might have to add a tiny little bit of velcro just to support that up, because it's not too great being attached to where the door is, and then running it across, a big one across the back like I did in the Taiji One. That's a lot of material, and again it would just be just as saggy. Yeah, good thing about Taiji 2, it already comes with an attachment point in the centre, so I did need to add one of those. Obviously they did a better job than I did in the Taiji One. Right, one of these doors has got a rip in it. I can't find it. Ah, there you are. Right, so full transparency. That's a repair patch. You can see where the stitching went up and down there. Basically ran away into the machine, and then I tried to pull it back out like a muppet, and left that little V stitch in there. But that's all seamed up. Also, all these inside here have all been tape sealed. Yeah, the reason I made these a bit bigger was when I was watching Grizzly Gazzy's sort of implosion of his tent when he had it out a couple of years ago. The bit where I seen it bend was down the bottom here, so I made this fractionally longer than I did on the Taiji One. I think it should make a difference. I think I don't know physics or anything like that, but I know when the poles are splayed out in the way that they were. So if you imagine down at the corners here, they're wider out, so it's more if you push down on the top of the tent, it would splay out a bit. When you cut the poles in and you put them in at that angle, they're more into the ground than they are going out the way. That's the biggest thing that I've noticed with these modifications. So there, yeah, that's the Taiji One and the Taiji 2. As I said, I will link all the videos in the comment section down below of all the stuff that I've done. But if you've got any questions about the Taiji One or the Taiji 2, just stick it in the comments, please. Okay, I think the most important bit about the modifications is what is the weight of both the tents. Now, so the Taiji One, its initial weight, if you go to the website, is 1.87 kilograms. That's 4.1 pounds. With its modifications, it is now 2.1 kilograms, and that's 4.7 pounds. Now the Taiji 2, its overall weight on the website, that's with everything, is 2.08 kilograms. That's 4.6 pounds. With the modifications it's 2.4 kilograms, which is 5.4 pounds. So that's the increase in weight that you have with both tents. Now, I think the last thing that I would do with both the tents, I would upgrade the poles to 10mm poles instead of the ones that are on it. I think they're 8 point something. I'll put it on the screen what they are, but I would definitely consider upgrading them to 10mm poles. The sleeves on both of them are big enough to put 2 sets of poles in if required. I think where it may fall down slightly is the amount of clips over the sort of spine of the tent might not be enough to hold 2 sets. So you probably need some Velcro around that just to cinch them on together. Right, so that's the modifications to the Taiji 2. Now, has it made the tent any better? I don't know. I've got no experience with the Taiji 2. I haven't spent a night in it or anything like that. The only thing I can say from initially setting it up in its original form to mark it all up for the modifications, and from this setup today, it is a lot sturdier. It does feel a lot sturdier. And I'm not just saying that because we've modified it, but it does feel a lot sturdier. Obviously the walking poles on the side, that brings a lot more strength to it, but it does feel that it has changed the overall rigidity of the tent. I'm sending this tent back to Mick. He will take it out and test it, and it'll be great to have someone else's feedback. It's great when you do stuff yourself. You are a bit biased to what you've done, but it'll be great to see to hear what Mick has to say about the modifications. Right, thanks very much for watching. If you've got any questions about the tents, stick it in the comments below. I will answer them. Take care, everyone.